Hey, shalom shalom mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube. I've been taking a sabbatical, and as a matter of fact, I'm still on sabbatical. But I've decided to leave the comfort of my cave temporarily just to deliver this message and to go back into my cave and spend some more time with the Lord. I just want to say that I'm done. Am I done with YouTube? Am I done with ministry? No, nothing like that. But I'm done with the hypocrisy of Netzari Judaism. I'm done with the hair-splitting, nitpicking, asinine arguments, backbiting, slander, gossip, lashon hara, petty squabbles of Netzari Judaism. I'm done. I did not leave the legalism and the bondage of modern-day Christianity just to be placed in another man-made form of bondage that a part of Netzari Judaism is creating, where they're confusing Torah with tradition. They're confusing Torah with their own man-made doctrines. They're confusing Torah with their own spin on what they think the Torah says. And I'm no longer going to be in bondage to that. I'm not going to worry anymore about criticism and slander and backbiting and finger pointing, because you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to be akin or a party to those things. I'm going to be a Jew on my own terms. I'm going to be a Jew on God's terms for myself. I'm not going to worry any longer about what I say or how I say it or how I come across or whatever. You know, people can think what they want. People can get mad at me if they want. They can unsubscribe me if they want. They can unfriend me if they want. But you know what? I'm done. People, where's the love? Where is the love in Messianic and Netzari Judaism? You know, do we really have anything to offer that's going to make people come out from Christianity when we're finger pointing and wagging our fingers and scowling and getting in people's faces and saying you're a pagan and, you know, you don't keep the Torah and blah, 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 blah. You know what? You can't attract flies with a sourpuss face like that. You can't attract flies with lemon or vinegar. You know, I'm not saying compromise. But at the same time, I'm not saying be condescending either. You know, there's got to be a balance. Mashiach was about keeping the Torah, yes, 100% totally true. But you know what? He wasn't about to bend to the scruples of the traditions of doctrine of men and of demons that some of the Pharisees were perpetuating and creating at that time. He wasn't about condemning other people. He was about keeping the Torah just as much as he was about keeping love. They were actually one and the same and synonymous, because how are you going to keep the Torah? You're going to keep the Torah out of love. You're not going to be slamming other people and condemning other people. You people out there who are condemning Christians for keeping pagan holidays and not keeping the Torah, you know what? You were most likely in their shoes in that darkened place years ago. How dare you come out and slander them? You know what? They need light just as you needed light. If it wasn't for the mercies of Hashem, who revealed to you that the Torah is still applicable and relevant for today, you would still be in their shoes. So how dare you condemn them? You got to coax them out and bring them out with love into the light. You can't drag them forcefully. You can't tell them how stupid and how ignorant they are and expect them to be dragged into the light. You're not going to win anybody over that way. You can't expect to do those things and be successful. You know what? Those same Christians are pointing at us and saying they're a cult. They've fallen from grace. Do I agree with them? No, but I can't say that I blame them because of the way we come across. You know, we're not coming across with olive branches. We're coming across with bazookas. This has got to stop, or Netzari Judaism is not going to survive. You know, it's being resurrected. We're just coming out of the woodworks again. But you know what? If love's not in the mix, if love is not love through holiness and love are not the main issues of how we come across to them in regards to Torah, in regards to the Jewish Messiah, then just stay at home. Just don't even open your mouth, because you're hurting us. You're hurting the cause. Just step aside and let those who God has called come out and do what they're supposed to do in love. You know, is really hurting me. It's really stabbing me in the heart. Why? Because I've been guilty of these very things that I'm starting to rant against right now. I've caught myself doing those very things. And while in my cave, I've been heartbroken, I've been repentant, and it's going to be different. I'm going to change. It's going to be a different ball game for me. Because you know what? I want to know the truth. I want to know the Jewish Mashiach. I want to know Torah as Mashiach knew it, and live it to the very best of my ability here in the 21st century in my modern life. And I'm not going to bow to the whims of Orthodox Judaism any longer. I'm not going to bow to the whims of their doctrines and their traditions. Am I going to be a shock jock and offend them? No. But at the same time, I'm not going to make an apology for who I am or what I am or the way I present myself. Because the only one I'm answerable to is God and His Torah, in the way that I understand it, and the way that He has revealed it to me. And to the very best of my ability, I'm going to walk in the footsteps of Yeshua our Mashiach by walking and following the Torah, and I'm going to do so in love. I'm not going to do so in zealousness alone, but I'm going to temper that zeal with love, so I know that I'm doing the right thing. Another thing I discovered. Yeah, Christianity has a lot of paganism in it. Yeah, no doubt. But you know what? It's not all bad. And what I've ended up doing, as I've been an Netzari Jew and have been walking in the Torah, out of fear of being tainted by paganism that is in Christianity, I've ended up throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I've ended up throwing out perfectly good things in my life that I've gained from Christianity while I was a Christian, and I've tossed them out to the curb with the rest of the pagan garbage. And you know what? I found myself going out of my house and digging through that trash and finding those gems that I threw away. Just because it had the label Christian on it, I thought it was pagan. And I was wrong. There's a lot of things that I learned in Christianity that I should have took over with me here into Netzari Judaism. And because I was fearful, and fearfulness is sin, it's not faith, I threw out the baby with the bathwater. And I'm retrieving those things that are not pagan, that I've grew up with and I learned from Christianity that made me who I am. And I'm going to reattach them and reassimilate them and graft them back into my life, because that's where they belong. Not everything that is Christian is evil. Not everything that is Christian is pagan. And you need to understand that. For those who are coming out of the church and into Netzari Judaism, into Messianic Judaism, there's perfectly good things that you can take over with you that you do not have to leave behind. Yeah, sure, the paganism and the hypocrisy and the backbiting and the man-made traditions and legalism, yeah, leave that all behind. But there's other things that you can bring back over. Again, I didn't come out of the legalism of Christianity just to be put in another bondage of legalism in Netzari Judaism. I'm not. Just as Hashem did not bring the children of Israel out of the bondage of Egypt just to put them into another form of bondage, I'm not going to be in bondage either. I'm going to be free. And you know what? Since I've been taking this sabbatical, there's good parts of my old self that have come back and emerged in my life. I was out with my wife and my daughter the other day, just laughing it up, having a good time, being very sporadic, being very funny and humorous, and just being very jovial and prank-like. And I'm like, wow, yeah, I remember I used to be this way. But I've ended up being more reserved and more refined and more stoic. And you know what? I thought to myself, my God, does my daughter really know who I am? My daughter hasn't seen that fun side of me in a long time. And I need to bring that part of myself back out and not be fearful. I thought that I have to be very disciplined and I have to be very stoic and stout. And yes, there's a time and a place for that. But because of fear of ridicule, because of the fear of this, that, or the other, I've reserved myself. I put my true self in a locked box under lock and key and guard. And I've turned into somebody that I'm not. Okay, so I'm done. I'm done. It's a new time. It's a new day. It's a new age. And if Netzari Judaism, Messianic Torah-obedient Messianic Judaism, is to survive and is to go on to the next generation, we're going to have to do some serious house cleaning. We can't placate to the church just the same. We can't placate to Orthodox Judaism. We've got to be who we are, and we've got to be who the Torah says we're supposed to be. What the Brit Chadashah says we're supposed to be. What Yeshua HaMashiach says we're supposed to be. And not anybody or anything else. There can't be no mixing and mingling, and there can't be no watering down, and there can't be no compromise. And if we're true to who we are and walk that straight line, then the Christians are going to take notice, the Orthodox Jews are going to take notice, and they're going to appreciate us, if nothing else, for our chutzpah of being who we are, for the honor and glory of Hashem, even though they may disagree with us. At least we're not trying to be chameleons and trying to be wishy-washy and trying to placate to this group or that group. Yeah, we're caught in the rock and the hard place, but we've got to keep moving forward. And we can't placate to one side or the other. Even the prophets, Isaiah said, there's going to be a voice behind you saying that this is the way. Don't turn to the right or to the left. Go forward, go straight. This is the way, walk in it. And that's what we're going to have to do. That's what I'm going to have to do. This is Rabbi Yehuda popping out of the cave just for a brief short period of time. And I'm going to pop back into my cave and spend more time with the Mashiach, spend more time in the Torah, spend more time in the Brit Chadashah, and really try to get what Hashem is trying to say to me. Because you know what? If I come out of my cave right now and begin ministering like I was, I'm not going to be doing anybody any good. And I'm going to be hurting myself and my family most of all. I've got to heal. I've got to have this sabbatical. I've got to have this respite so I can be the best that I can be. So when I emerge from my cave and God says, go, and I say, okay, I'll go wherever you want to send me, then I'm going to be going in the power of the Torah, in the power of Yeshua HaMashiach, in the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, and I'm going to have my head screwed on straight, and I'm going to have my spirit fortified in the blood of Yeshua and in the Torah, and I'm going to be able to do greater things than I've done before, all for the honor and glory of His name, so I can be that open, clean conduit and vessel for Him. That's why I've been gone for so long. And you know what? I've got this trip coming up in November in Nigeria, and I want to be ready for that. So I have to take this sabbatical. I have to take this retreat. I have to go into my cave, just as the prophets did, just as it says that Enoch had done in the apocryphal and pseudepigraphal literature, where he had to go and learn from Hashem and then be sent out to teach. And then he went back in. After he was filled up, he emptied himself upon the people, then he went back and filled himself up again. You know what? I'm empty. I'm bone dry. And I've got to be filled back up again. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Just as somebody being in shark-infested waters, if a person's going to rescue them, they can't have any cuts or any open wounds, or it's just going to make matters worse. So a person's got to be physically fit and healthy and well and healed before they jump in and save that person in shark-infested waters. Just like in a plane going down, I've got to put that oxygen mask on me before I pass out. Because if I try to help somebody else, I'm going to pass out and lose my life. So I've got to put the oxygen mask on myself first before I help somebody else with their oxygen mask. Anyways, thank you guys for all your love, for your prayers, for your support, for your kind and encouraging words. Just keep praying for me, and maybe I'll pop out of my cave here a couple more times before I actually come out for the long haul. So thanks again. Shalom and Shavua Tov. Bye-bye.